What's going on, everybody? How is everybody doing this wonderful Tuesday afternoon? Hope you all are ready for a beer. This one is going to be hopefully one that goes down in the history books. Will it live up to the hype that it was given? We're about to find out. I'm excited. Today, this one's, Lee, I'm telling you, man, if you let me down with this one, we're going to have some words. The expectations for this one is really, really high. So let's see if it meets those. I mean, you're not wrong, Lee, but still. The hype around this beer has been so heavily, put out there. So, we'll see if it lives up to the hype. We shall see. Up, 4 o'clock, people. Let's do it. Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we got a very, very special one. It's another one, the last one sent over by Mr. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler. And the label got a little wet just because I let it sit out a little bit, but that's okay. But today, we're going to be taking a look at a 5-year aged Firestone Walker Stickee Monkee. This beer was brewed back in 2016, and it's a Central Coast quad, so I'm guessing it's going to be kind of one of those Belgian quad styles. That's why I kind of let it get a little bit room temperature before I'm going to open this thing. So I put this thing out took it out of the fridge an hour beforehand, and I'm really excited. The hype around this beer from Mr. Grim Green and Lee have been put through the fucking roof, in my opinion. I'm ready to open this guy and see if the hype is lived up. It's a nice big 650 ml bottle, and it comes out to a whopping 11.6%, which I'm automatically going to think, since it's been aging for 5 years, that ABV is kind of going to go up a little bit. So I would say it might be up to around the 12-13% range by now. I don't know, could be a little bit higher. I'm just assuming that it's going to get more infused, more kind of the ABV kind of go up in this guy. But before we open this guy up, let's talk about Firestone Walker, because they're also another favorite of mine that I've had plenty of their beers before when it comes to their IPAs, and then they really kind of raised the bar when it comes to like their barrel aged stuff. So they've been in the business for 25 years. So I think they came around in the 90s. Around that time, it was two brother-in-laws out of California. I forget what the hell was the town again. The brewery's in Paso Robles, California. So, but they started pretty much. They were kind of into the industry already. They were kind of had a family vineyard and all that stuff. So they had the equipment for brewing wine. So they decided to kind of take some of the stuff that they learned and try to create the perfect beer. And it's kind of cool because they have so many different like varieties of stuff that they wanted to do, but with the equipment that they had when it comes to aging stuff in barrels, when it comes to the wine side of things, and be able to like put that into the beers they make, they've kind of taken their barrel aging methods to the next level. And to me, they're one of the best companies to go to when you're looking for a nice barrel aged beer, just because the technology and all the like equipment they have available to them is the best quality kind of stuff you can get. So I'm really, really excited about this one. So with this being like a kind of like a Belgian style quad, I'm assuming that there's going to be some like dark malty notes in this, maybe some like sugary kind of sweetness, along with like that kind of roasty, oaky barrel aging kind of taste, maybe a little bit of a bourbon note in it. But without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see if this lived up to the hype. I'm going to be drinking out of my untapped tulip glass this afternoon, and let's crack this guy open. What are we getting on the smell with this thing? Oh wow, kind of gets like a little bit of like a chocolatey kind of aroma. Definitely like more of like a milk chocolate actually. Definitely a nice sugary kind of like brown sugar kind of smell to it. Maybe like a molasses kind of note in there. Yeah, that's... What are you, foaming on me? What are you doing? Let's get this thing poured so we don't have to... Look at that. Look at this bad boy. So, nice, dark, not almost getting to the point where it's kind of stout colored, but yeah, the notes on this are heavy, like burnt, like caramelized sugar smells, a little bit of like a chocolatey note. Then guessing there's going to be some like herbal spices in there, doing it to be like kind of that a quad kind of style beer. Definitely, you can smell like an oaky, bourbony kind of smell to it. Yeah, let's just try this guy. I'm excited. So, this was 5 years in the making to drink this beer since. Yeah, it's been screaming to come out of that bottle, and let's finally do it. So, cheers, everybody. Wow. Wow, that's crazy smooth. Holy crap. Definitely gets like a kind of like a nice oaky, bourbony kind of taste in there. Getting like a kind of like a chocolatey note as well. Kind of like definitely getting those traditional Belgian style flavors when it comes to like a Belgian triple or a Belgian quad. Getting like some herbal, kind of maybe like a nutmeg kind of note in there. But those strong like chocolatey notes that are coming out, along with that like molasses, burnt sugar kind of flavor in there. Yeah, delicious. Definitely feels like more of a heavier ABV when it comes to, I don't know, it tastes like it's more than 11.6 just because it's been aging in that bottle for 6 years. No, 5 years. 5 years. Not 6 years, 5 years. But yeah, this is... Wow. Yep, literally almost no head to it. When I opened the bottle, there was like kind of like a nice little like light brown of a head to it. Definitely has like a kind of effervescent kind of mouthfeel. Definitely like smooth, kind of like a little bit of a creaminess to it. But just like those kind of herbal flavors that come out when it comes to this kind of thing, like a nutmeg kind of spice kind of situation. Just like screams in your mouth, and just the chocolatey flavors, the molasses, sugar kind of notes in this are Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Wow, this is t- definitely tastes more it kind of has more of like those stouty kind of porter kind of flavors in there. The more you age it, but this is absolutely top notch. Wow. So let's see what the flavor profile of this thing actually is. So since this one, the 2016 one is no longer in production, you can probably still get the 2021 version. So you guys can get your hands on this stuff if you know any places that have Firestone Walker, to where you can buy the 2021 and age it yourself. Just make sure you're having it in like a kind of like a dark kind of area. Put it in a cabinet in like a not like if you have a cabinet in your basement where you like aging beer, this would be the perfect place to do it. Perfect place to do it because just have it on its side. You don't have to worry about. Actually, you don't even need to worry about having it on its side because there's no cork. So, but definitely the booziness in this it's crazy how smooth it is. It's definitely, you can tell it's a higher percentage. Like my throat feels warm from drinking this. Like there's definitely a warmth, and it's like a lingering warmth. It's not like it's a warmth and goes away, but it's like a kind of a warm feeling that stays in your throat. So it kind of sticks to the palate a little bit. But holy crap. Yeah, this is wow. Kind of lost for words with this one, to be honest. Absolutely lost for words. So let's go to see what this profile actually is. So, brewed with Belgian candy sugar and aged in a selection of fine bourbon barrels, Stickee Monkee trailblazed its own category as a Central Coast quad. The name Stickee Monkee is a nod to the Central Coast native Stickee Monkee flower, as well as a shout out to the Belgian monks who pioneered the quad style. Belgian candy sugar imparts a signature molasses sweetness to the beer. Meanwhile, maturation in bourbon casks brings ample barrel expression with notes of toasted oak, coconut, leather, and cigar tobacco. So, definitely, I can see kind of like that kind of cigar tobacco kind of thing mixing in with like that kind of oaky, woodsy kind of flavor that I'm getting from this. But not really getting much coconut flavor off this, which not a big deal. But like the chocolatey kind of burnt candied sugar kind of, like when I say burnt sugar, it's not a bad burnt sugar flavor. It's like very like, I don't want to say it's close to caramel, but kind of is, and it's wow, absolutely delicious. Yeah, this is definitely worth the 5 years of letting this sit, because I bet you if you had this probably aged a little bit, like if you got the 2021 and just opened it right away, I feel like you would get those like chocolatey flavors, but I feel like more like the spice, like nutmeg kind of, or maybe like an allspice kind of flavor would come out a little. It would be like kind of a lighter chocolate. You know, who knows? It might kind of be more like a kind of like a dark chocolate kind of bitterness added to it, but kind of balancing out really well with the molasses, burnt sugar, candy sugar kind of flavors. But then that kind of oaky tobacco kind of flavor at the end that just lingers and just adds like a nice balance, like sweetness between oaky with an earthiness there, and then a nice sweetness for like a sugary, chocolatey kind of flavor. Yeah, I'm I'm almost at loss for words with this one. I feel like this is like if I was at a wedding or something, this would be like, instead of a bottle of champagne to open, I would open something like this. It's like, yeah, this is absolutely top notch. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So let's see what people rated this one. See when these kind of things came in. So people are still drinking the Stickee Monkee, but I'm kind of curious if these are 2016 ones. So a bunch of people have been aging them, so at least you're good to know that you can age this. Let's see. People have been able to get their hands on this stuff if this is another 2016. So people are checking it out on tap the correct way, so which is good. So somebody gave this a full 5 out of 5 and says simply the best, which I'm almost to that point where I agree. Somebody gave a 4.75, 4, 4.5, 4.25, 4.25. Home seller release, Let's see. 4.5 paired with a bunch of bourbon. So yeah, average of the high fours, because this beer has over 10,360 ratings with an average rating of 4.4 out of 5, which it's outstanding. It's an 11.6%, but if you age it, it's probably going to get up, I would say, to probably like that 13%, just because it seems like that would kind of get the alcohol to kind of ferment a little bit more and kind of get that much stronger. 35 IBUs, which I don't really taste much of a bitterness in there, so I can definitely see that being on the lower IBU rating. But yeah, everybody that's tried this beer has at least given it a 4. I have not seen anything checked in with this one that is under a 4. So pretty much almost perfect. Definitely somebody actually got this on Tavour. So if you're looking, it sucks because Tavour actually gets some Firestone, some of the aged Firestone Walker ones. I know I've gotten a couple 2018 aged Firestone Walker beers. So if you're ever looking for anything Firestone Walker and looking for those kind of older ones that you might have a difficult time finding them at a liquor store or a bottle shop, yeah, you can probably guarantee you might find some on there every once in a while. They do limited release of that stuff, very small quantities when it comes to them releasing the Firestone Walker like aged beers on Tavour. So if you haven't tried using Tavour yet, go on the app, put in your zip code, you'll find out if they can deliver to you or not. But I know they're trying to work on getting their stuff more readily available, working with other small courier services and all that. But my best recommendation is just to get onto Tavour is just download the app and put in your zip code, and they'll tell you right away if they can ship stuff to you. And it's a great service, absolutely great service. Yeah, I'm a little bit speechless on this one. So let's kind of go down the list here. Let's see. Bottle art / can art. Yeah, I always think the stuff from Firestone when it comes to stuff like this is super clean. Definitely very, very classy. One of the most classiest labels I've ever seen when it comes to beer. So easily, when it comes to just having a nice, high-quality barrel-aged beer, this label gets a 5 out of 5. This is, when you see a Firestone Walker bottle like this, you know you're going to get the best quality kind of stuff. And you're like, okay, this is either rare to find or it's just, yeah. Let's see. Oh, damn. I was a couple days off. This bottle was actually brewed 4/19/2016. So this was bottled on 4/19. If I should have done that on 4/19, that would have been to do it exactly an exact 5-year age. I'm a couple days off, but that's okay. So let's see. So bottle / can art. Yeah, awesome. Absolutely love it. Very clean, very classy. Has everything you need to see on there. So easily when it comes to having that classier kind of label and sticking to that kind of seeing that label when it comes to a bottle or something like that, you know it's going to be the best thing you can possibly have. So easy 5 out of 5 for bottle art. But let's see if there was an interesting situation to where they had a cask of this still around and they decided to tap the barrel and they had a keg of it. Would I get one? Get another one if I got it in a flight? I know this is kind of a situation to where getting this kind of beer in a flight is probably not going to happen. You might find the new version, but let's just say if there's a situation to where you have a barrel and they pop the barrel to give it a drink. Oh, the box for it? I have, there's a good question. I don't know where the box is for that one, Lee. Might have gotten thrown out, but that's okay. But yeah, it all comes boxed up and everything, so if you see that token Firestone Walker box, yeah, it's going to be a great experience. So if the situation happened where I was able to get this in a flight, without a doubt, not even asking, I'd probably ask for another glass of it after the first sip, to be honest. That's how good this stuff is. It's literally, I'm trying to say if this is one of the best beers I've ever had, but it's kind of getting to that point. It's so well balanced, the booziness in here. When it comes, this is foolproof right there, that all the people out there that's saying there's no point of aging beers, it doesn't do anything, this is the kind of beer that you give them, you're like, this is what I'm going to do to prove you wrong, and you just give them this. This is absolutely just like amazing. Amazing. Wow. Yeah, this one's an experience, and it's kind of, I want to say it's kind of, when you have like a beer that's almost like an out-of-body experience, this is kind of to that point. So what is my final rating on this guy going to be? To me, this beer is almost practically perfect. I think this might be the closest beer I've ever had to getting a perfect 10 out of 10. I don't know if I would give it a 10 out of 10, but because it's like, you're never going to have a full like 10 out of 10, like, I can drink this every day for the rest of my life and be fine. You always want something different, so I'm probably not going to give this a full 10 out of 10, but I'm going to give this the closest thing to doing it. Easy 9.75. I would maybe like to see a little bit of that coconut come out a little bit more. Kind of add like a little extra tropical element to it. Kind of give like, I know coconut gives like kind of a depth of sweetness, but easy 9.75 out of 10 for me. Almost absolutely perfect. This beer almost is to that point to where I want like 12 bottles of this downstairs aging at any point in time. It's like if I was if I could do a 9.9999, I'd probably do it. But easy, I'm going to leave it at a 9.75. If you can get your hands on any sticky Monkee and age it, I know it's like kind of the temptation of drinking this beer and be like, oh, I want to drink it now. Do yourself a favor, let this stuff sit, because it's wow. Just wow. That's, if there's one word to describe this beer, wow is the word. It's absolutely just easily one of the best beers I've ever had, without a doubt. Everything's so well balanced. The sweetness in there is so predominant. Everything mixes so well. The booziness is just the right amount of booziness you would want from a barrel-aged beer. It's so decadent. So it's perfect. I think it's perfect. Pretty much perfect. Can't give it like a full, like, absolute perfect rating, but yeah, it's the closest thing to perfect for a Belgian like quad I've ever had. Closest thing. Easily the best Belgian style quad I've ever had. Even though they consider it like a Central Coast quad. But I need more of this in my mouth. I need more of this in my face hole, because it's it's something that I just, wow. That's just wow. Wow, wow, wow. Every sip I get kind of lost for words with this one, to be honest, guys. Everything has worked so well, and if this beer hasn't won any kind of awards, I'll be very surprised. I'm trying to think of what kind of like food you could pair this with. I can actually, with it being so decadent, being so like kind of chocolate, sweet, like savory a little bit most with the oaky tobacco kind of situation. I don't know what kind of food you can pair this one with, really. But yeah, this is absolutely knocked it out of the park. Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to drink all of it. He said, is he home yet? Let's look. No, he's not even home yet. So he was telling me, like, I told him that when I opened this, he was like, okay, he gets off close to 3, so he better kind of make his way over here after he's off of work. He said he kind of scheduled his other side job he does around this one. So hopefully he'll be home in time for me before I finish all this, but I'm going to try to I want to savor this thing as much as possible, so I'm going to take my time with this one. Lee, have you had it with a steak? Because if you've had this with a steak, I'm kind of curious. I feel like a red meat kind of with this kind of flavor in there wouldn't be that bad, but I feel like when it comes to having like a steak, I'd want it to be a little bit more like kind of like that traditional Belgian style where it's like a little bit more spice forward and then not so like chocolatey, oaky kind of situation. But I can definitely see this pairing pretty well with that. But for me personally, I would like more of like kind of like a spiced forward kind of Belgian, like triple or a quad with a steak. But hey, that's what preferences are, and that's why everybody has different taste buds. So who knows? But at the end of the day, thank you, Lee, for sending this one my way. I'm greatly honored that I was actually able to be able to try this thing, because this is one that people try to get their hands on and not many people are able to. So be able to say that I'm able to drink a 5-year aged Stickee Monkee from Firestone Walker and be able to put out a review for it and kind of give my thoughts on how almost perfect this beer is kind of a nice kind of feeling. So thank you, Lee, again for sending this my way. Really, really appreciate it, brother. You are awesome. But other than that, guys, that is what I got for you guys today. So thank you, everybody, in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. If you like what you see and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. We'll let you know whenever I go live doing another review. If you want to see more of like a social media aspect kind of things, I know a bunch of people here are some beer drinkers. Go on Tap. That's the one kind of app I would recommend people to have if you're a beer drinker. You could find me on there, Duchess on there, Kentucky on there. Us fellow like everyday beer drinkers, we're on there quite often, and it's just a cool kind of different element of like social media to where it's like aimed for beer drinkers. And there's so many cool things that are on that app to where you can give yourself a nice kind of feeling of what different like verified venues or breweries that are around you. The app does amazing things. So if you're not on Untapped yet and you're a beer drinker, you're doing something wrong, because that's the app to be on when it comes to the craft beer community, because the craft beer community is still going strong and it's growing every single day, and I'm excited to continue to do this stuff. And just stuff like this, drinking a beer like this is what gives me excitement about craft beer, because this isn't something that you can find every day at a grocery store. This isn't your everyday run-of-the-mill craft beer. This is very special. It's an experience. I feel like this beer, having a Stickee Monkee aged 5 years, is like a bucket list kind of beer situation for me. So thank you, Lee, for giving me this opportunity to actually drink this and put this in the books of probably being one of my favorite beers of all time. So guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out after the stream is over. It'll help me out greatly. Also, if you're watching on the replay crew and you're drinking a beer while you watch my stuff, let me know what beer you're drinking down in the comments below. Another kind of way for me to see what other people drinking and kind of look out for what I should be picking up myself. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. So again, thank everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. Lee, special thank you to you for sending this my way. It's kind of like a bittersweet moment because of the last beer that I have that you sent me, but all the beers that you sent my way were fantastic. So you kind of helped give a little bit more kind of content to this channel, along with giving me some great craft beer experiences. So Lee, this toast is specifically to you, my friend. Thank you for being just who you are, being a great human being, not even asking for any money with this stuff. You're like, hey, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of beer and send it to you. So this cheers is for you, Lee. And this one is for everybody else in chat. Thank you, everybody, again. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Fantastic Tuesday. And remember, if you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody.